Hi YouTubers, welcome back. I'm Horlicks and this is now issue 64. Okay, so yeah, this is issue 64. This is jam-packed, full of stuff to do. We're doing the top hinge for the lightsaber eject mechanism. We're also going to be doing a lot of the electrics inside the dome and offering the actual dome to the frame. So yeah, loads to do. Let's crack on. So in this issue, we get we've got a new hinge. Now, we've obviously had a hinge in one of the earlier issues, quite a long time ago, so I assume that won't be needed anymore, but I'm going to keep it anyway. But we've been issued with another hinge, the hinged dome panel. It's got the bits on there. Plastic Allen screws, which will be used to secure the top dome bits in all the dome panels in place. We get an Allen key for them. We've got 16 plastic fixing screws, which are black. And then in here somewhere we've got 6 flanged screws, which are those ones in there, as well as flanged fixing Okay, so there's 2 types of flange fixing screws. You've got the shorter ones and you've got longer ones. You've got 11 normal fixing screws, and we've got 2 long fixing screws, which you might just be able to see in there, really long ones. So we're going to need all the parts, so let's just go through what we need. So to finish this issue, we're going to need the LCD screen, which I shall leave up there for the moment, the red-blue display lens, which came in issue 1, we're going to need the logic function displays, we're also going to need the lens, the microphone, and then obviously the parts that we've had in this issue. We're going to need the plastic spacers, which we had in issue 63, and oh, nearly forgetting something else. We're going to need this cover, processor state indicator cover, which we got in issue 1, I believe. And I think that is everything we're going to need. So quite a lot. So the first thing it wants us to do is gather up some screws. So we want 2 of the 4mm fixing screws. Which, again, as you all know, it's like a guessing game to what screws. So I'm going to say these ones there. So we need 2 of those. and we need one of the long ones that came in this issue. Just about to see that there. Okay. Okie doke. So now we need to attach the hinge to this piece of dome panel. So that's just going to slide in between those two holes, and then it wants us to screw it in from the right hand side as you're looking at it from the bottom. So we show something that looks like that, and the screw is saying into the right hand side. Okay. So now we need to take the top of the frame, and we're going to be working on this empty piece here, and then that's going to pop in and then we're going to screw that down with 2 of the 4mm screws. And they are the wrong screws, so I'm going to use 2 that came in this issue, see if they work. Yeah, so that's 1 in, and I'll show you this in a second. I don't know if you can see that. So you've just put 1 in there, and then the other one. There we go. And that secures that into place there. Brilliant. So the next thing it wants us to do is fitting the dome. So for this part we need the plastic spacers, the top ring, which it's asking us to remove, and so we're going to separate these spacers from the plastic. And then okay, so then we need to get the microphone. And it's going to fit in this hole here next to the lightsaber ejector flap. So we're going to push the wire through, and it's asking us to make sure that stays in place while we fit the top on. Like so, and then that should line up with there, and then that should line up with the ejector flap here as well. Okay, now mine is a little bit stiff at the moment, but when it's all screwed down hopefully all should be good. Okay, and then what it wants us to do next is put the top ring back in. Now it's clear now that the shorter pin goes in this hole here, and you can tell there's a difference. So we're going to pop that in. Carefully, we're going to tip it back upside down. And if you can see in there, we're going to be putting these spacers in, just like so, into 5 of the holes. Obviously one of them, this one here where the shorter peg is, we won't have one. So 3, 4 and 5. So that's the spacers in. And then we want 5 of the flange screws, so they've got like a top hat on them. So where all the spacers are, we're going to use the 5 longer screws. So that's 1 in. 2. 3. 2 more. 4 and then 5. And then we're going to use a shorter one, a shorter screw with the top hat on, flanged one, for the remaining hole that hasn't got the spacer. Okay. And then that now opens nicely. Now that's all screwed into place. It's getting some weight to this, which is brilliant. Okie doke. So the next thing we're going to be doing is removing the 6 Allen screws off of here. So just give them a twist. They come off really nicely. And let's see where it wants us to put these. I don't think it matters too much. Oh, there you go. It's difficult to tell, but you want this hole here, just above the microphone. We want this hole, and there's Allen screws going to go in to these holes here. So we're going to want 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So there's 6 holes here, which are all going to have these installed. So I'm just going to do that now, and then you can see what I mean. There we go. So that's one in. You can see that there. And then we're going to, as I say, do this one above it, then these two, and then these two. So I'm just going to cut away while I put them in, and then I'll be back. Okay, so I'm back, and that kills your hand trying to get that in there. But you can see I've got those 6 in now. And then they just sit there, and what they do is they just stop these panels going back through. So okay, that's that part done. The next step is to get the lens, and that is going to go over here in the opposite, on the opposite side where the holes are. And then there's like a little, you might be able to see, there's like a little groove just in there, and that's going to match up with the notch that's in this piece of plastic. Okay, so that's going to fit in there like so. And then we're going to take the light, okay, and I'll just plug this in. We want the red, I think it was red and blue. Yeah. So we want the red and blue LED, and that is going to go in over that with the cable away from the other hole. Okay, so it's going to look a bit like that. And then using the black fixing screws, so yeah, we've got the black screw, which is for plastic. We're going to secure that in. Which is super fiddly. And I'm sorry about the camera angle. Just get this into place. Like so. And then from the other side we should have that. So now if we plug this in, let's have a little play. That should look really good. There we go. Lovely. Okay, so after that is done, that is in there nice and securely. Let me just turn the page, let me turn the page. Okay, we're going to be putting in the logic function display, which is this part here. Which is going to go next to it in this hole here with the cable. It's showing There we go, that clips in, and then the cable is going to be nearest the LED there. Then we're going to put 2 more self-tapping screws in either side to keep that into place. It's a little bit awkward to use the screwdriver inside. There we go, again not too tight because we're screwing into plastic, so there we go, and then that should look like that from the outside. Okay, so once that part's in, we're going to be moving on. So now we're going to be doing the display. The LCD. And that is obviously going to go into where this long piece is here. And then that's going to go downwards. And just fit in there like so. And then we want 2 of the 4mm fixing screws to secure that in. Just in the top. So that's 1. And 2. There we go, just in the top there. And then that is that fully home. Okay, so the next thing we're going to want is the projector lens. And that is going to go next to where we've just put the LCD in the hole there. And there's like a, on here, there's a, on the silver part, that will fit, so we can see that, into the top there, there's like a slit, so that can be matched up nicely into there. And then the blue thing will fit over the lugs nicely like so. And then again we're going to be putting some plastic self-tapping screws in, black ones. Just to keep that in place. And again, sorry for the dodgy camera angles, it's just quite difficult to and then there we have it, so that is that in place. And we should have something that looks like that. Okay, and that is as far as we go for this issue. So there we have it. So we've got the projector lens in now, we've got the LCD in there, the logic display there, we've got the processor state indicator in there, and then we've obviously got the microphone fitted at the top there. So that was it for issue 64. Now that was a mammoth build. It's looking really good, and it's really heavy. It's got a lot of weight to that. So yeah, please like, share, subscribe, and I look forward to seeing you in issue 65. Take care.